so sorry. So sorry. Is it back? Is it back? I don't know if it's back. Oh dear. All right. Ah, Maria, my whole life is just a mess. Let's see. Let me copy and paste things. I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to fix this. And I guess I will do this in the description here too. No, everyone, it's me. It's because my internet sucks. It really does. It's actually okay. That's not true. It doesn't always suck. It just sucks in this particular part of my house. And then I would move, but that's just so much work, folks. So much work. So we will continue. I forgot what I was saying. Let me see. Let me tell folks in the other thing, this new link. You guys, I don't even, the fact that I have YouTube videos up at all, I feel like is just a miracle in and of itself. Because have we noticed that I'm just so terrible with technology? It's so bad. It's so bad, people. It's so bad. But thanks for making the jump. And good Lord, I am just so bad at this. Friends, I'm just amazed that my whole life hasn't fallen apart. I used to be good at things. I really feel like I used to be good at things, but now I am not good at things, and it's very humbling. It's very humbling, and it's very sad. So, all right. Did I send it to the wrong place? Oh, it went back. It went back to the live chat. I'm so confused. Did I send it to the wrong live chat? Oh, I went to the wrong thing. That's very kind and gracious of you to say that it's okay. But I think, oh, here we go. All right. Okay. Beverly, that's very nice of you to say that it's because I'm juggling. We'll just go with that. We'll just pretend. We'll just pretend it's that. I'm gonna sip some stuff. One of my favorite places. T4 and IT. I feel like my life is fueled by them. I have saved a lot of money during the pandemic because I haven't been able to go out to these places. So yeah. Oh, but since this is a new video, and for those of you, I'll plug my friend's stuff. I just think this is the funniest thing ever. It's just an I love Jungkook. And then a charcuterie board. Charcuterie. So for you to put out like your charcuterie things. And then she made me an advent calendar. So again, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and stuff, and YouTube, and her on Instagram and Twitter. And then I will choose 3 winners. One person for the you can choose something of $50 on her site, and then one person, and then 2 people for like $25. So please comment and subscribe and stuff. Look at these, they're so pretty. And she also makes like, look at this. This is my I don't know if you can see it. It's the Esmeralda, whatever. That flower thing. Anyway. Tatiana, it's not that it fails for everybody at some time or another. It's like it always fails for me. Like you know how Namjoon is the god of destruction? I am the god of destruction for Wi-Fi. And I walk. Like I've literally walked next to a person and the Wi-Fi on their phone cut out. That's how powerful I am. I'm a very powerful person. I have an electric personality because I am not static. That's all I've got, folks. All right. Brianna says, get well, Yoongi. Yes. Did you hear the news? I hope he recovers well. Yes, Tatiana, I am very magnetic. And then, yes, Brianna, I heard about Yoongi's shoulder. I'm glad he's finally getting it looked at because, as someone who, I mean, pain just sucks. The fact that he's been in pain for like 8, 9 years since before debut, since that accident, that's awful. That sucks. And so I'm glad that he's getting his shoulder fixed. Of course, I'm sad to not see him in promotions. But hopefully, what I'm hoping is that he'll be loaded on pain meds and then go on like a Twitter or like Weverse spree like he did when he, I think it was his ear that got torn. And he was like, yeah. So, Brianna says it was around 2012. Yeah, so yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying now. I'm just so so thrown off by my lack of Wi-Fi skills. Hi, commie skills. Unorthodox speech says 8 years is too damn long. It's so true. I have friends who have like chronic pain issues, and like they say sometimes they feel like they're going crazy, like, or that they become like suicidal because it's just so hard, and yeah. So I don't know. And when I was pregnant with my fourth kid, I was pretty much in pain from the moment I found out I had conceived to the moment I squeezed that fat turkey out of my vagina. And so, like um, it was just miserable like 40 weeks. It was really hard. So I can't even imagine being in that much pain. Like he couldn't even lift his shoulder. Or his arm above his shoulder, like to be in that much pain for like 8+ years. That's awful. Emma Howell says you could have too much electricity in your body, as my mother couldn't wear watches because they would stop on her whenever she put one on. Oh, she's like Magneto or something, or like Storm. That's really exciting. Yeah, I feel like I just need someone to keep me grounded. Someone take this away from me. But yes, Kami, I'm with you. I hope he recovers quickly, and then gets rest, and that he gets all the like. Crystal says she's giving me a slow clap. There's a reason why Yoongi and Jin are my favorites. Because pretty much every word out of my mouth is "when I was your age" or "back in my day." So there's the Yoonginess, and then these terrible jokes, and I guess that's Jin. So, someone cool says, "I know they work too hard, and now I'm worried, but hopefully Yoongi gets better." Yes, I read that he said, I think on Weverse, that he consulted like 4 hospitals, and 3 of them said he should get the surgery now. So I think that should be fine. Brianna says, my sister and I talked about how he should have had surgery sooner, but he also had appendix surgery back in 2013. Yeah, I think he was in Japan, right? And then he made it all the way from Japan back to Korea before he went to the hospital, which is like insane to me. Like, that's a fucking lot of pain. So he must have a high pain tolerance. I have a high pain tolerance, but I don't know that I would have enjoyed that at all. Emma says, I have fibromyalgia, so I can relate with him. I hope Yoongi has a speedy recovery. Oh, I have several friends with fibromyalgia, and it's just, I'm so sorry for the chronic pain. I don't know what to talk about. Do you guys have questions? Or you guys want me to talk about stuff? I can answer questions about what it's like to live the glamorous life of a writer or a YouTube reactor or a mom of 4. Yeah, what have I been doing lately since you last saw me? I forced a bunch of my high school friends and I to have a Zoom, and I made them have a Zoom for my birthday too, and I'll tell you about it right after Beverly. Beverly says, yes, tell us about that life writer YouTuber. And then, so yeah, so I don't know if you guys feel this, but every time, even there's certain groups of people where I'm always like, oh, I don't know if they actually like me, even though like these are people I've known. Some of them I've known since like the third grade, and the fact that they still talk to me clearly must mean like that they do like me because it takes effort to like hang out once you're not in school, right? So and the fact that we still hang out and on Zoom, uh, yes, like it's it's but I every time I'm like, oh, I wonder if I'm gonna be the only one. Is anyone gonna show up? Do they just want me to be quiet? So like I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, but I feel that way about certain friend groups. Like, oh, maybe they don't actually like me and they're just like tolerating me and they just can't wait to get off the call with me. I kind of feel that way about the live too. Like, oh, you guys are very nice. I don't know what to talk about, but all right. I don't know why you're watching me ramble, but you're very kind. Okay, about that writer, YouTuber life. So most of the time, it's for me. Uh, I'm a very lazy person. And so I should be pitching more, but I don't. So I've been actually pretty lucky to get the jobs that I do get. But mostly I think that's from being friends with the right people. So I've made a lot of good connections, networking, and being consistent in the blogging community. And so people have referred me to get writing gigs. And then because those editors like me, they keep me on as like a regular contributor. Not on the staff level. I think a lot of places don't hire full time staff anymore because then you're responsible for their benefits and stuff. But on the like like on the like contracting level. So I have a few regular gigs, and then I also started applying before I got more of these paid gigs. I applied for like places that give prestige or that might be volunteer or whatever, but just to give me more experience. So I put in a lot of work that way, and so yeah, that's kind of the writer life. So mostly every month I get my pick of X amount of topics. I mostly write for mom.com, and my editor is really nice to me, so she lets me choose first from a list of topics, and I try to respond quickly because I'm sure I'm not the only person she tells early what the topics are, and so I choose. If the longer you take, then people have already taken the easier ones or the ones that maybe you have a natural affinity for, and then so then I take those. I generally take maybe 5 to 7 articles from mom.com. And then I usually have I do editing as the entertainment editor. So I edit for Mochi Magazine. So I edit articles for that, maybe 2 to 4 month, depending on how quick our slate is. And I'm trying to pull back on the writing I do for them because I'm just so tired. So that's maybe 1 article a month. And so it just takes it depends on the kind of article it is, but it will take anywhere between 2 to 6 hours to write an article of about like for the mom.com articles about 700 to 800 words. They give me all the SEO terms. They give me like kind of the words that they want me to include on the topic. So and then give me like reference articles. Actually, that's pretty. It took me a really long time. It took me like so long to write my first few because I just didn't quite understand their style. But then once I understood their style, then I could write it much faster. So now I've gotten it down to if it's a topic that I already know or know enough about, then it takes me about like 2.5 hours to write a piece, um, including like research and stuff. But if it's like a topic I know nothing about, it'll probably take closer to like 4 hours to write, 4 to 6, depending on how hard it is. So like my Healthline article that I had written, that one took a long time because I was so panicked and so worried. So I took a long time on that. But in general, I'm trying to get the articles down to maybe 2 to 3 hours so that I can do more things. But mostly it's like writing a research. So if you write like SEO articles, just like informational articles, then it's just a lot of research, and then you just regurgitate what you've researched on the internet into a palatable form for whoever's reading in the style and the like template that they kind of give you for this particular whatever site you're writing. So the Mochi magazine stuff is a lot more interesting because it's entertainment, right? So then that's like access to, early screenings of movies or interviewing people. And so it's different. And so you're writing reviews or like thought pieces. And those are, on the one hand, they could be easier, right? Because a review is just like an opinion, right? It's just what kind of like what I do when I do reaction videos. It's just I tell you my opinion and you kind of have to back up, like give supporting evidence for why my opinion is valid. Um, and then but then you freak out because you're like, well, what makes my opinion worthwhile? Who cares about my opinion? Why should my opinion matter? Um, but when you think about it, why should anyone's opinion matter? Like, why do we read certain critics? Why do we watch certain people on YouTube? Why is their opinions considered more valid than my opinion? So I just try to channel my inner mediocre white dude and go, nope, this is my opinion. This is why it's important. And so yeah. Let me see. I'm getting a lot of comments. Brianna Baby Doll said, did you hear that Biden won the elections? My family was jumping for joy. Yes, I heard. It was the first thing I saw this morning, so it was good. Tatiana says, I feel my Japanese friends want me to be quiet too. Oh, it's so hard in a different culture too, right? Like you just don't know if you've made some like faux pas and I'm so sorry. It's so hard. Someone cool says, I felt like no one even noticed how much they got hurt whenever they performed. There are some keep calling them lazy when they couldn't perform once because they needed a break from all of this. You know what? People are going to say what they want to say, and there's always haters, and they can just only do what's best for them, right? Or Unorthodox Peach says, you remind me of my big sister. She's also a mom of 4. She's one of my favorite people, which is why I like you. Oh, thank you. I like you too. Let's see. Someone cool asked, have you ever read an article that has bad info about someone? Like they got the wrong information about someone that is popular? I'm sure I have. I don't know enough about, I mean, I really don't know enough about celebrities to know, if that makes sense. Like, I really don't actually care about celebrity news. Um, I, yeah, I don't, so I don't really know. I mean, unless if it's like a blatant factual error, I really would not know if something is wrong, if people got it wrong. But that's what other fans are for, right? Like they know a lot and they will tell people if they're wrong. So that's good. And I've actually made mistakes on this YouTube channel. Like there's a lot of stuff. I don't know if this is your experience, but there's a lot of things I learned when I was just checking out BTS, so I didn't know whether or not the information is accurate. And then it just kind of wormed into my brain, and I just thought it was true. And then I'll mention it later, and people will be like, "That's not true," or "Where did you hear that?" And I'll be like, "Oh, you're right. Actually, that's not a verified fact." And then I apologize and move on. And I'll try, if I remember, I'll edit it from the video so that other people are not also getting bad information. But it's just hard. There's just so much information on the internet. And so with the later reactions, I've tried very, very hard to make sure that I'm speaking accurately. And even though like I don't have a ton of subscribers, and most of my videos don't get like a ton of views, but like I still want to make sure that people are getting accurate information from my videos. So I try to be, if I am dispensing facts, I try to, be open to the fact that I could be wrong, and then also not to like say whatever stupid thing that comes into my mind because it might not be true. Let's see. Emma says, any tips on learning Korean? I've been putting it off for years, but now is my time. Oh, but that's probably not to me. That's probably to Orthodox Speech, because I gave up learning, not gave up, but I put on hiatus learning Korean since April, because I ended up getting a lot more writing. So I was just like, Maria 49 says, I appreciate that you admit your errors and make corrections. Thanks. It's no one likes to eat crow or humble pie, but if you're wrong, you're wrong. Like, there's no point in pretending that it didn't happen, and there's no point in like, making a big deal out of it. People make mistakes, and sometimes if I was just a little bit more careful and fact checked a little bit better, there wouldn't be a problem. Let's see. Lorelai JNB asks, I love the various professionals who do reaction videos with you. How do you choose them? It's really pretty random. It's mostly my friends, and I have because I am older, because I'm middle aged, and all my friends are most of my friends are gainfully employed, and they're really good sports. Um, yeah, I just ask, and if people, I well, that's not necessarily true. What I do first is I look first in my community of bloggers because I'm a blogger, an influencer. So I know a lot of people who are also influencers. So what I'm looking for is generally a perspective that may not be seen. Generally, reaction video people are young, and not, of course, as at 42, I am still young, but not as young as like folks in their 20s or early 30s. And so, because I'm in my 40s, most of the people I know have already been in their profession for a very long time. And then among bloggers, I know a very, so just within my personal network as well as my like blogging network, I know like a good 2,000 people, and the majority of them are professionals. And then of those folks, I try to look at who would A, be willing to make a YouTube video with me, because it takes a certain type of personality, right? And then also what's in it for them, right? Like some people are just doing it to be nice to me, like kind, and then some folks are, hopefully this will also give them either experience on YouTube, or filming videos, or that they can, have it pertain to their own stuff, and then also promote them as well. So I think that's, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, I just look at my friends, and then I also do brainstorm people who would be good reactors. Like my friend Chris, he is a composer, so that's a very easy, natural combination of like who who to work with, because he has something interesting to say that I couldn't offer. And then Jeff, because he's just hilarious, and then also because he has a very insightful mind. He approaches things from play, and he I don't know if you guys know this about him, but he campaigned very heavily for both Obama campaigns. He campaigned heavily for Hillary, and I know he also, I think, campaigned for Biden. So, I mean, and when I say campaign, he flew out to different states, and then like called phone banks. Like was one of those callers, knocked on doors. So like I feel like he did, I feel like he brings very interesting perspectives. Um, and then my friend Catherine, she's a counselor. She has like two master's degrees. She's a counselor. Her husband's a counselor, like a certified counselor. And so like, she brings so much wisdom, and is amazing. And so I love her. I have You guys, I have like 60 videos with Catherine that I have not posted or edited. I'm such a bad person. Um, yeah, and then like Rhonda, she's a licensed, you know, therapist, and so she actually does want to come back on, but she's just been so busy. But you can follow her on Instagram. I think it's like Rhonda Smith. But yeah, she gives great advice on her Instagram also, so she's fantastic. Um, and let's see. Sorry, I just rambled on for a bit. Let me go check. Um, let's see. Emma says, I'm still learning stuff about BTS. So many facts in so little time. Isn't that the truth? I thought I've been studying them for about like 3 years now, and I thought surely by now I would have gone through all their content. Have not, cannot catch up. Let's see. Emma Folan says, I prefer the term in my prime than middle aged. You got it. Besides, if it's middle aged, I'm dead at like 84. I don't appreciate. I plan on living longer than that. So Emma Folan says 42 is definitely not middle age. Maybe just like an auntie, a young auntie. um, let's see. Someone cool is, oh, you're 16-year-old. You're 16 years old. I don't know if some of my videos are appropriate for you. Someone cool. All right. Let's see. An Orthodox speech says, if you can make a Korean friend, and I stumbled into a Korean church and my Korean has improved. Oh my gosh. That's hardcore, dude. Beverly Lazar says, I love when Jeff is on your videos and Chris too. Everyone you've brought in has been great. And someone cool says, I love honest reactors instead of a fake one. Oh, Beverly likes I love the one you posted with your friend talking about the masks and symbolism and singularity. That is my friend, Dr. Mike Campos. He is so smart. He's like a theologian. He has a PhD in theology. He taught like he's amazing. His brain is just like talking to him. Like seriously, that video that you're talking about, it's I think it's one of the podcasts. But like literally, I could not understand what he was saying. Like I understood the words he was saying, and my brain was like, it took my brain like 45 minutes to catch up to what the thoughts that he had introduced at the beginning of the video, and I was just like, and I consider myself a smart person. Like I don't think I'm like a dumb person, but I was sort of like, oh my god, my brain cannot handle. Yeah, so he's great. I love him. I actually met Mike. I got invited to this event put on. I forget who it was put on by, but it was a mostly Filipino American group, and they also promote voting. And it was at the Philippine consulate in San Francisco, so I went, and it was an event, and they were talking about like the overlapping between, like being, I forget exactly, but Dr. Campos was there, and then I met a bunch of like really cool people. So, and he's actually in the Progressive Asian American Christians group with me. So, and so then I interviewed him for because I'm the Living Justice editor for Diverging Magazine, which is basically how do progressive Christians live out justice in their daily lives. And so I interviewed him, and so we've hung out a few times. And now he's on sabbatical and teaching in the Philippines for a year. So that was probably more information than you wanted when all you were saying was just commenting on how you liked that video. But you're welcome. Even though no one asked, there you are. Unorthodox Peach says, I love watching your friends. Have a special place in my heart for Jeff Opa. I know. It's so cute. He says he appreciates it. Southern Sassy, hi! Says, I live to 104 if I am middle-aged. See? There you go. I think that's the kind of attitude we need. Tatiana says, I love all your guests too. It's always interesting to hear their opinions. Emma says, first time on your live chat, gotta catch more for sure. 1 a.m. here. Oh my gosh, go to sleep. Go to sleep. My live things are not that exciting. Beverly says, backstory is always good. Brianna says, I love your guests as well. I also said before that I like to watch others die over talented and attractive artists as I do, so I don't feel like I'm the only one. Someone cool says, I agree with you that what you said, that some are inappropriate, but hey, I'm still learning. Also, I don't watch something inappropriate. Okay, yes. So, someone cool, I appreciate that you watch, but yeah, some of my stuff is not appropriate for under 18. But it's the internet. I mean, I'm sure you've seen worse. But yeah, so I'll try to keep it PG-13. But yeah, so are there other types of guests you want to see? It's both easier and harder. Yes, Brianna, your 13-year-old sister should not watch my content at all. Not at all. I agree. But mostly I try to get guests that I have good chemistry with, and that also can bring something else to the table. But mostly I think people just like to see my friends fall in love with BTS or like them. And I have a lot of friends who are willing to give their time. I have a bunch of, when I say I have like over 60 videos that I haven't edited, that's not an exaggeration. And then one of my friends, he's like, what, 44? He's Korean American. And when I finally post it, I'm going to call it Korean American Ajusi Reacts to BTS. Because, so, okay, that's good, someone cool. Just skip things. I'm okay with this. But like, so and he's in politics, and he's a lobbyist, and he's amazing. So it's pretty cool. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll let you. It's 5 o'clock, so I've been on the live for about an hour, and I don't know what else to talk about. But make sure you like and subscribe. Um, Vivian would like someone who doesn't even know about BTS if there is one. So most of my friends have heard of BTS because I promote the BTS agenda nonstop on my personal Facebook page. Um, my friends call it the Ministry of Thirst, where I post. So basically, this is how I coped with election day. I made this giant thread of just really attractive, hot Asian people, and I closed out with BTS. So I think most of my personal network knows about BTS because I talk about BTS so much. So Brianna asks, "Have you seen the B concept photos?" Yes, I have. They are fantastic. Um, are there links to the artist's Etsy shop in the description? Yes. Oh, the Etsy shop. Shit. Great point. I will put it up. Hold on. Give me a sec. Etsy. Let me post it. And so Liz, the person who has made all this stuff, is and her. Let me put it on. Sorry. Okay, I just added in the description. Let me put it in the. I'll drop it in the what is it the thing that you guys are doing now? Live chatting. Live chatting. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Yes. So that's her shop, and then she just makes cool shit. I've known Liz since the seventh grade. The seventh grade, and is uh she is what is she? Yeah, I've known her since the seventh grade. I've like one of my really longtime friends. We were in choir together, and then she is the reason why I started blogging. I'd always blogged personally and like journaled, but she was the first person that I saw who made money from blogging, and I knew her in real life. And then she was super gracious and answered a ton of my questions. I think I asked her out to lunch or something like that, and so she answered all these questions. And then it's actually because of her that I did a lot of things. She was a cast member for Listen to Your Mother, San Francisco. I think in 2000, maybe 2014 or 2013. And that's how I heard. I had heard of Listen to Your Mother, but I didn't know you could just like audition for it. And so then so because of her, I finally got for it. So I became a cast member in 2016, and when I was pregnant. And then because of that, I got all these sorts of opportunities. Liz introduces, like every time she got me to go to my first blogging conference, so I went with her there. And then she introduced me to all her blogging friends. So by the time I was done with these conferences, so she's my eternal roommate. She's my Jin. She's my Jin to my sugar. And because at every conference, at blogging conference, we room together. And so she's introduced pretty much almost every blogging person that I've met is because of her. And so she introduced me to my friend Brandy, who is the reason why I've done like all these things. Like, did I cut off? Did it end? Did it die? Let me check. Is it back? Okay. So I have low battery, so it's like down to 20%. So it's okay. Is it back? All right. Okay, cool. There's low battery. Ah, all right. And so yeah, so she's like Brandy's the reason why I've tried any of these things like YouTube videos. People have been telling me since like 2018 to do YouTube reaction videos, but I was just too scared and too nervous. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do this. You might have seen Darcy. She on the reaction channel. she's the one who taught me how to do a lot of. She walked me through my first reaction video, which was the shadow interlude one, and it took me like all day to edit that thing. And she was very patient. She's art. Keep in mind, this was like the 7th time that I'd asked her how to do reaction videos, and she's like, "Okay, for like the 1000th time, this is how you do it." So like, I'm just really grateful to the people who are on my channel because they are giving up their time. I'm not paying them, they're just doing me a huge favor, and I hope to honor them, in the videos, or to pay it forward, or pay them back, and try to care for them and love them. So again, that's why I'm just so grateful to Liz, because she is the reason why I got into writing in the first place, or was willing to take a chance on writing. And I feel like so many of my dreams came true because she was generous with her time and her resources, and her love for me. And so she is one of my favorite humans in the whole world. So hence, I buy all her stuff. Sometimes sometimes she'll give me things that, like, her samples that she's done. This is still my favorite. It's just so fucking funny. But and if you don't see it, you can request things like the BTS Advent calendar. And so yeah, I just love her a lot. So please, again, for those of you who arrived a little bit later, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow Liz on Twitter, follow Liz on Instagram, and then comment in either this video or the first live, then I will choose 3 winners. The first place winner will get, randomly, obviously, will get to choose a $50 item from her shop, and then the other 2 can choose a $25 item from her shop. So, all right. Let's see. Are there any last minute questions or anything? Yeah. So, thank you so much, and I hope I'm very happy about the election. And yeah, so it was to celebrate the election, to celebrate my friend Liz, and to thank you all for being just awesome viewers. And yeah. And now I have to write so many articles, but it should be fun. So thank you, my friends. Stay safe, stay healthy, be safe, stand BTS. And thank you for joining me, and I will hopefully do another live soon. And